again, Steve here with a few thoughts on fearlessness. Touched on this a little bit on the last video about us and our interactions with those who would want to control us, whether those are figments of our imagination or real other human beings out there who call themselves governors, authorities, and so on, just because they call themselves that, right? And the reason I think fearlessness is so important is because I don't know if there's much that holds us back more than fear. I mean, fear has its legitimacy. It's very valuable, right? I mean, if we're fearful of, we don't run across the highway when there's fast-moving cars because, to a great extent, we're fearful that we're going to get run over. And there's a truth to it. But there's been a lot of boogeyman-style fears that have been injected into us based on our nurture, right? We could say that we can, a lot of fears might be innate. We don't want to be eaten alive by a lion and so on. Nobody really has to tell us that, probably. So that's there. But all of these ideas of fear of things that were put into our minds, God-fearing people, fear of devils, of these unknowns, right? But also fearful of others. The subjection that we put ourselves under to so-called authority perhaps is the result of fear of others that we have. We always have this friction, it seems like, in ourselves to others. We feel differently in the midst of others than we feel by ourselves. And that difference is also often a level of discomfort, and that discomfort has a level of fear in it. And if we can work towards the point of no longer fearing, or fearing less, hey, no longer fearing, is that actually possible? Perhaps not, but fearing less, based on, not just fearing the truly dangerous stuff that's going to run us over and get us killed and whatever, but just this knee-jerk reaction. And to me, I think it's been said before that it's like learning a new language. It has to be practiced. We have to work on ourselves, and perhaps systems like the Buddhist meditation and whatnot can help us to a great degree. But in the end, I think what we really have to do is we have to be active in whatever it is that holds us back. Whatever it is that triggers these irrational fear responses or these unnecessary fear responses. For example, public speaking is known by many, and it's been reported by many, as the largest fear of all. And yet we can join clubs, public speaking clubs, kudos to the Toastmasters International system. We can get up there, join these clubs for a very little cost, and associate with other people who've been through this, and practice and practice and practice every week, and all of a sudden we become less fearful. We're becoming more fearless. And if that's a large fear in our lives, it seems to have a ripple effect into other areas of our lives where we are fearful. It's a learning process, right? It's like learning a language. If we practice it and immerse ourselves in it, then it becomes more natural. So fearlessness, I think, is a similar thing, or the growth towards fearlessness. If we've been trained a certain way to fear things, it's like we've learned that language. We've learned the language of fear for things that we don't necessarily have to be fearful of. But it doesn't mean we're just old dogs, right? We can learn new tricks. We can learn new languages. We can learn the language of less fear for things that being fearful of them is holding us back. And step out and truly begin to live. Because the degree to which we are fearful of things that hold us back, right, and results in holding us back, really, rather, is the degree to which we do not live our potential. The degree to which we do not live our potential is the degree to which we do not live. Like Thoreau once said in his book, Walden, at the very beginning, he said, I went into the woods so that I could learn to live deliberately, so that when it came time to die, I could realize that I lived, or something like that. It's, while we're alive, why not live, right? And if we're fearful of all sorts of other people and all sorts of opportunities and experiences and whatever, we're restrained, we're bound up, and we're not living as much as we can. And when we're not living as much as we cannot experience the qualities of life that we could have. One man's thoughts, once again, no references below, it's just ideas I'm coming up with, sharing ideas on improving the quality of our life experience. Steve here again, great chatting. I'll talk again soon. Bye for now.